Hi, my name is Jade. I'm 22 years old. My daughter Lilith Webb was born 06/2022. I've contemplated a long time about doing this video. It's honestly a last resort. I haven't really wanted to do anything like this, but I feel like nobody wants to help me and everybody's treating my daughter's murder as a crip death. So this is my attempt to raise awareness for someone to help me get the justice my child deserves. I'm really feeling a lot of emotions right now, so this is probably going to be all over the place, so just bear with me. My daughter Lilith Webb was a year and 1 month old. She died July 18th of 2023. She was at her father's house in the care of her father's girlfriend while he was not present because they had gotten into an argument and he left her there. I will not say the name of who she was with, but I'm sure people know and somebody will say the name. I'm so flustered right now. I guess I'll just start from the first sign that I got that she was gonna hurt my daughter, and I didn't pay attention to it. About 12 days before my child passed away, I got a message from my baby father saying that my daughter Lilith was, sick, kind of lethargic. I told him, okay, give her some Benadryl. See if that helps. His girlfriend, at the exact same time that he was texting me, was texting my grandmother and told her that Lilith's legs were purple and that she was unresponsive. And so as soon as my grandma got off the phone with her, she immediately called me and told me what his girlfriend had told her. And so I called my child's father and I asked him, why didn't you tell me this? Why are Lilith's legs purple? Why aren't y'all taking her to the hospital? And he said that she was fine, that her legs were not purple, that she was responsive, that she was fine playing. And he said that she was just trying to start drama. And so I didn't really think much about it, but thinking back, I probably should have reported that. About 3 days before my child passed away, his girlfriend posted something about a child dying from aspiration. That's exactly how my child died. So on July 18th, around 2 p.m., her father picked her up from my house. I dressed her up that day. She had a cute little dress on. She was so happy. She was playful. There was nothing wrong with her at all. She was running around. My child was walking at the time and she could talk. And I want to say probably about 4 or 5 hours later, I got a call that Lilith wasn't breathing and that she was on her way to the hospital. When I made it to the hospital, my baby was purple from her neck down to her torso. She was dead for a long time before somebody called an ambulance. Her breath, it was horrendous. It smelled like rotting milk. Upon my arrival at the hospital, I found out that She had been swaddled, binded up like a prisoner at a year old, with the bottle propped in her mouth. She aspirated on milk. She suffocated to death, and I can't even imagine how much pain she was in. I don't even want to think about it. At this time, the woman who murdered my child was seeing a therapist for having thoughts about hurting Lilith, and I didn't know that. My baby's father knew that, but he didn't tell the authorities. He's just now coming out and telling me this. Her mother knew that. Her mother is a teacher, and she didn't tell the authorities. Had the authorities done their investigation properly, they would have known that she was seeing a therapist for having thoughts of hurting my child. The investigators have determined no foul play. They have told me directly to my face that I'm an overreactive mother just looking for someone to blame, that it's not negligent to swaddle a 1-year-old that can walk and run or pop her bottle when she can hold it herself. The detective on my case will not return my calls. He will not message me. I've left him messages, voicemails. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to collect myself. They closed the case without notifying me, and they never even sent it to the DA. They said it wasn't worth further investigation. There's 3 states in the United States that it is illegal to swaddle a child, and 100% illegal without doctor's orders. Only 3. Texas, Virginia, and I think Missouri. I'm sorry. This is really hard for me. The woman that had murdered my child has a 4-year-old daughter. And she has an in-home daycare service where she takes care of like 3 or 4 kids a day. You tell me that she didn't know that she wasn't supposed to swaddle a 1-year-old that could walk. That she didn't know that she wasn't supposed to prop her bottle. How can you justify that? How can Jasper County justify that? How can they sweep her death under the rug like it's just a crib death? And it wasn't. She was healthy. I have the EMS report of the night she died, the hospital report, and the autopsy report. Upon arrival, they gave my child 2 milligrams of epinephrine, and then about 10 minutes later they gave her more. It doesn't exactly state what times they gave her, but they ended up giving her 10,000 milligrams of epinephrine. Before they took her to the hospital, they were trying to resuscitate her for 30 minutes. But she was dead for a long time before they even made it there. She was already cyanotic and rigor mortis when they made it there. In the EMS report, it states that they were I'm sorry. It says right here, an intubation attempt was done and it was successful. The patient was being bagged. The tube became clogged with what appeared to be baby formula mixed with a thick substance. Deep lung suctioning was done and kept removing copious amounts of fluid from the lung. Her airway started drying up, so the ET tube was pulled. The patient was suctioned and then was bagged again. Unable to clear the airway, we continued to suction and try to use an ambu bag to ventilate the patient. The patient stayed asystole and the patient's skin color never changed. The patient remained cyanotic and was still suctioning copious amounts of fluid from the lungs. She was over an hour away from the hospital. They were suctioning her lungs the whole time. The whole time on the way to the hospital. And by the time she made it to the hospital, they were still suctioning baby formula from her lungs. I never gave my child baby formula at this time. She was on whole milk. And I definitely didn't give her anything in her baby formula. She didn't need anything like that. By the time she had made it to the hospital, her core temperature had already dropped 96 degrees Fahrenheit. When they finally let me go back and see her, they had been working on her for over 2 hours, 2.5 hours. They looked at me and they said, "We've been trying to resuscitate her for over 2 hours now. You need to be the one to call it." And I said, "Okay, just stop." And then everything around me, my whole world just stopped. I immediately hit the ground. And I passed out in the room. And then all I remember is jumping up to go hold her one more time. And as I held her lifeless body there, a part of me left with her that day. A part of me that I could never get back. A part of me I don't know how to find. And it's not helping that the justice system is doing my child wrong. They don't want to help her. They don't want to get justice for my baby. They just want to sweep it under the rug because it's not important to them Or as they say, I'm just a overreactive mom looking for someone to blame. The detective said that to my face. No sympathy at all. This was the last thing I wanted to do, but I just don't know how else to get justice for my child. I've called over 50 attorneys. Nobody wants to pick up the case. They say they can't fight against a government entity or something like that. I'm just making this video in hopes that somebody can help me and to raise awareness, because I know I'm not the only mother that goes through stuff like this, and I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. It's been 7 months since my child died, and let me tell you, it doesn't get easier. It gets harder every day, especially knowing no one cares.